Question 3. A. Question. Define ratio decidendi and illustrate ratio decidendi with reference to one inside case. Answer. Ratio decidendi is reason for judgment. It is compulsory for a judge in delivering judgment give grounds for judgment to avoid abuse of power and so that the decision will not be overruled in appeal. In the case of Kesultanan Pahang and Satas Realty, the judge ruled in favor of Kesultanan Pahang. His reasoning was that on the issue of whether the word persons in a provision of Sultanate lands enactment, it does not include artificial persons such as the respondent company, since a legal person cannot be subject to a sultan and cannot give allegiance. Thus, the respondents need to return the land leased to them by the previous sultan. This case shows that the judge deliberated on the facts and laid out the reasons to hopefully give adequate explanation to the parties on why a decision was reached. In conclusion, ratio decidendi is an important part of the judicial system as it prevents arbitrariness and makes the parties involved satisfied at the end of the trial.
Question 3, Subpara B. State and explain 3 advantages and disadvantages of the doctrine of judicial precedent. The doctrine of judicial precedent is the strict application of precedent in common law, derived from decision of courts, where courts follow prior decision of similar material facts. The first advantage is that it is practical. This is because it is developed from actual disputes and evolves over time, according to what disputes arise in society. First disadvantage is that it is slow and irregular since it relies on precedents and cases that come into court. Law only develops if specific scenarios occur and are brought to court. Second advantage is there is certainty and predictability. People can plan their action so as to not be on the wrong side of the law, and lawyers can plan their defense in according to precedent. Second disadvantage is that there is rigidity in the law. Courts are bound to decide in accordance to precedent, even if it isn't just. It is hard for court to overrule past decisions, and thus perpetuation of bad decisions may occur. Third advantage is that discretion of judges have limits. Because of the concept of ratio decidendi, they must justify their decisions or be overturned via appeals or judicial reviews. Third disadvantage is that it is hard to distinguish cases. Courts must go through multiple precedents and differentiate between them all, leading to lengthy trials and focusing on many trivial details. In conclusion, judicial precedence has many advantages and disadvantages. Thank you.
Of the Judicial Precedent to 5 MLS. So, question 1A, Dato Balu was charged under Section 323 of the Penal Code for voluntarily causing hurt, an offence punishable under Section 326A of the same code, which provide for a maximum sentence of 2 years in jail and a fine up to 4,000 or both. Which court has the jurisdiction to hear the case? Explain the composition and jurisdiction of the court. So, the court that will be hearing Dato Balu's case is the first class magistrate. The first class, the magistrate court are established under Section 76 of the Subordinate Court Act 1948 and are the lowest in the hierarchy of the court. However, they are the most important and handle the greatest volume of work. The magistrate court deals with everyday matters such as road traffic. It is divided into first class and second class magistrate. A first class magistrate has all the powers and jurisdiction conferred on a first class magistrate by the ACA in 1948 or any other written law. On the other hand, the second class magistrate cannot adjudicate a matter which is not within the jurisdiction conferred upon them. As for appellate jurisdiction, a second class magistrate hears and determines both civil and criminal appeals from any decision of the Penghulu's court within local limits of his or her jurisdiction. If it is considered there is no sufficient ground for interfering, the magistrate may dismiss the criminal appeal. If the appeal is against a conviction, the magistrate may reverse the finding and sentence, and acquit and discharge the appellant, either order retrial by a court or competent jurisdiction, or alter the finding and make such order as deemed fit. As for appeals against sentences, the magistrate may reduce or vary but not enhance the sentence, and in an appeal against any other order, alter or reverse the order. Based on the present case, Datuk Bala's sentence of 2 years imprisonment and a fine of 4,000 indicates that the First Class Magistrate Court will be hearing the case. A First Class Magistrate Court hears all criminal offences which are subject to imprisonment not exceeding 10 years, punishable by fine only, and provided under Section 392 and 457 of the Penal Code, as prescribed in Section 87, Subsection 1 SCA 1948, a First-Class Magistrate Court may pass any sentence allowed by the law not exceeding 5 years imprisonment, a fine of 10,000 ringgit, whipping up to 12 strokes, or any sentences combining any of the sentences stated earlier. If the magistrate decided that because of any prior convictions or antecedents of the convicted person, a punishment in excess of that prescribed in 87 subsection 1 is appropriate, the magistrate may award full punishment allowed by the law, but he or she must record his or her reason for doing so. In conclusion, Datuk Bala case was heard by the First Class Magistrate Court as the sentence does not exist